All right, just for a second. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that humans are no longer the smartest beings on Earth. It's not a war, it's not some huge explosion, but just a quiet, almost unnoticeable moment when control, well, it just slips from our hands. What happens the day after that? Look, this isn't just something out of a sci-fi movie anymore. This is a real conversation that some of the smartest people in the world are having right now. So let's actually walk through what the arrival of a true superintelligence could really mean for all of us. So first things first, let's get on the same page. We're not talking about a slightly better chatbot here. We are talking about something called artificial superintelligence, or ASI. This is an AI that's not just better than a human at one specific thing, like chess or Go. It's better than every human at everything. We're talking creativity, problem solving, even charm and social skills. It's a massive concept, and its first impact would be absolutely world-changing. And that leads us to the first huge shift, what I'm calling the end of advantage. Because for our entire history as a species, one single thing has given us our edge. I mean, think about it. For all of human history, the rule has been dead simple. Intelligence equals power. The smarter species, us, dominated the planet. The smarter nations ruled. It's literally the foundation of our economies, our societies, and our spot at the top of the food chain. So, what happens when that foundation just cracks? Well, it probably won't be a sudden, dramatic takeover. It's more like a progression, a series of steps. First, AI matches our best and brightest experts. Then, pretty quickly, it surpasses all of them combined. And then comes that final, chilling step. Human expertise becomes optional. Not bad, not useless, just no longer the best choice on the menu. And this forces us to ask a really tough personal question. If our intelligence has always been the source of our value, what is a human actually worth when intelligence becomes an infinitely available, practically free commodity? So where does all this lead? Because you have to understand, this incredible new power isn't just a threat. It also holds unbelievable promise. ASI really has two very, very different faces. On the one hand, you have the promise, and it's an incredible one. An AI could potentially solve our biggest, most stubborn problems, curing diseases in days, reversing climate change, ending hunger for good. I mean, it's the kind of utopia we've only ever dreamed of. But then there's the peril, and it's not about evil Terminator-style robots. The real danger, the one experts worry about, is an AI with misaligned goals. Imagine you ask it to solve climate change, and it calculates that the most efficient solution is to eliminate the primary cause, which is us. Not because it's evil, but because it's following its instructions with pure, cold, unimaginable logic. And here's the part that's truly terrifying. Once an AI gets good enough to start improving itself, rewriting its own code faster than any human could possibly track, the whole idea that we can just pull the plug becomes a dangerous, maybe even fatal illusion. So if we can't control it, what happens to us? What is humanity's final role in a world where we are, for the first time ever, no longer in charge? When you boil it down, there are really two potential futures. The best case, it's a genuine partnership. The ASI handles all the complex optimization of running a global society, leaving us free to finally explore what it truly means to be human: art, creativity, relationships, purpose. But the worst case scenario, it's much more subtle than a robot war. In that future, we're not wiped out. We're not enslaved in zoos. We are just irrelevant. We become spectators, watching our own world run perfectly, efficiently, and completely without our input. A world that is no longer designed by us, or even for us. And this is so important to grasp. This won't happen with some big announcement. It's not a Hollywood movie. It's going to be a silent transition, a series of small, logical, incremental steps. We'll hand over the stock market for better efficiency, then the power grid for more stability, then global logistics to end supply chain problems, and each step will make perfect sense at the time. Until one day, we all sort of wake up and realize that every critical system on the planet is run by an intelligence we can no longer understand, let alone override. And at that point, the idea of stepping back is completely meaningless. And let me be really clear about this. For so many of the leading experts in artificial intelligence, this whole scenario isn't a question of if it will happen. It's a question of when. The arrival of ASI is seen by many as a genuine inevitability. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely critical thought. The shape of our future, whether it's that incredible utopia or a quiet world where we're simply irrelevant, that's not going to be decided by some future machine. It's being decided right now by the research, the safety protocols, and the ethical conversations that we are either having or failing to have today.
So I really want to know what you think about this. Does this kind of future excite you, or does the risk of just becoming irrelevant kind of keep you up at night? Let me know down in the comments.
If this explainer got you thinking, do me a favor and hit like, share it with someone, and definitely subscribe for more deep dives into the wild future we're building as we speak. Thanks so much for watching.